What's up guys, it's Will back again, and today's review is Patriots Day. Patriots Day is a historical drama thriller film that was co-written and directed by Peter Berg and is based on the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing and subsequent manhunt for the two men who committed the act of terrorism. Patriots Day takes place in 2013 Boston and follows an ensemble cast of characters from local police officers to FBI agents to everyday Boston citizens. The story chronicles the events that unfold in these characters' lives just before, during, and after the Boston Marathon bombing, while also giving us a glimpse into the mindset and methodology of the two brothers that committed this crime. Just after the dust has settled at the Boston Marathon, the FBI decides to take on the case, which they believe is an act of terrorism. After some serious detective work from Boston PD and the FBI, the two brothers are believed to be the primary suspects, and the rest of the film goes into manhunt mode as the entire city is put on lockdown while they search for the two brothers and attempt to bring them to justice. Okay, so to be honest, I wasn't all that excited for this one, because while I definitely do enjoy most of Peter Berg's films, I sort of felt like this movie was arriving too soon. But then I realized that the Boston Marathon bombing was almost 4 years ago now, and while I still think that's ideally not quite enough time to pass for a movie to be made about it, this film is surprisingly really good. Patriots Day can at times be brutal, it can be sad, it can be action-packed and thrilling, and really that sort of well-rounded experience is not something that I thought I would get out of this one. Because while I absolutely love Deepwater Horizon, Peter Berg's last film, the trailers for Patriots Day didn't really sell me on the quality all that much. So if you're like me and saw the trailer and weren't super impressed, I would recommend giving this film a shot because it's way better than the trailer would lead you to believe. Patriots Day actually moves at a pretty quick pace and takes place over the span of like less than a week. You spend the beginning of the film introducing the ensemble cast, and then you have the bombing and then the manhunt. Everything from the bombing on is great because I think the way these real life events were recreated for the film feel ultra realistic and make it so easy to feel like you were there in Boston during this scary and horrific time. I will however caution you that this film is rated R, and while the bombing scene is a very dramatic one, it's also extremely tough to watch at the same time because they really don't pull any punches. They show you most of the devastation these bombs left in their path and the lives they destroy in the process. So really, I just want to caution you that this scene and others in this film can be pretty tough to watch because of the level of realism the filmmakers managed to achieve. While definitely brutal, this does make for some extremely compelling drama that I think a lot of different audiences will find interesting, but I do believe that this film will resonate with Americans more than it will people from other countries. I only say this because Patriots Day has a very strong nationalistic American pride vibe to it. It really tries to drive home the point that America is resilient, and in times of difficulty we set aside our differences, overcome, and unite to combat terrorism. Now regardless of where you stand on this issue, some will say it's propaganda, some will say it's an unbiased telling of a true story, this film at its core is one that's about a time of tragedy in the United States, hence why I believe it'll resonate more positively with Americans than anyone else. I will however say that some of the most compelling moments to take place in this film are the ones that actually follow the two brothers who committed the crime. There aren't any pictures of the characters out there and they aren't really in the trailers, but you actually spend a decent amount of time with these two and get some insight into why they committed the crime, how they pulled it off, and so forth. They were portrayed by Wolff and Themo Melikidize, and these two did a really great job. But the acting in this film is very good from top to bottom. Patriots Day really has a pretty great cast if you think about it. You have Mark Wahlberg, Goodman, J.K. Simmons, Kevin Bacon, Michelle Monaghan, among others. Every actor in this film is very good in their role, and what Peter Berg manages to do in these films with high-profile actors is actually pretty unique, because not one actor ever steals the spotlight from the other. There really is no lead character in this film. You jump around so much to different characters and their experiences with this whole situation, and you never stay too long with one specific character. Usually this worked really well because it gives you multiple perspectives of the situation and also introduces more characters that you're invested in. But sometimes I did feel like there were too many characters that were doing different things, and that was a bit difficult to follow. Sometimes it just felt like there was too much going on at once. And obviously Peter Berg's plan was to be as realistic as possible and introduce all the real people who were instrumental in either solving the case or were tragically infected by it, but at times it can be a bit overwhelming because you can't latch onto one storyline at certain points when you need to. But regardless of this, I will say that once the bombing occurs and the subsequent manhunt ensues, this film hits its stride and heads mostly towards thriller territory with some action scenes sprinkled in. And let me tell you, everything about the manhunt is done so well. The manhunt is what makes this film as good as it is, because once the FBI has the identities of the two brothers and things start getting intense and action-packed and exciting, that's where Patriots Day really hooks you. But overall, I really enjoyed Patriots Day, and honestly, it surprised me. I thought it had great acting and a great cast, some thrilling and captivating action sequences, a grounded, emotional, and brutal story, story and a strong message that resonates throughout the entire film. The only knock I have on this film is the abundance of characters and storylines that felt a bit too overwhelming at times. I'm still going to give Patriots Day a 9.5 out of 10 and definitely recommend that you see this one in theaters if you're looking for an emotional and thrilling story and can handle the brutal imagery. So did you guys see Patriots Day yet? What did you think of it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if not, let me know whether you'd be interested in watching this film or not. And as always, if you like this video, click that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for much more content like this. That's all for now though. This is WillFoxification signing off. See you in the next review.